Yndks, welcome to Trump Mafia. Now, President Trump is such a magnificent animal, right? A lion. And he's so noble. And he also understands that, when you need to talk to liberals or whatnot, you send Ivanka and Jared and, the liberals, they like Jared and Ivanka, right? It's more easy to talk to them. And he's using Melania Trump as a secret weapon to charm Putin. Now, they were talking for a long time at dinner, and Trump was at the other end of the table and kind of looking at them and pretending to talk to some guy and probably not listening. And it's amazing, right? Because Putin is a Russian, right? Russians really like ladies, and she's from Eastern Europe, right? So they know how to talk to guys from there. And she also is a classy lady, right? She's elegant. I mean, just imagine you have a G20 and Obama's there with the Sasquatch, and Putin is forced to talk to the Sasquatch. I mean, he'd probably ask his bodyguards to remove her, right? Now, Melania Trump is one hell of a lady. She's so beautiful, and she's tall and intelligent, and she can talk to a world leader like Putin, right? But it's also, like a secret weapon, because she's not Secretary of State, she's not somebody with an agenda, she's the wife of the President of the USA, right? So she has that ability to talk to him on a personal level, and it's beautiful, right? I mean, this really helps to cement a relationship. And Putin and Trump had a 2-hour meeting. It was supposed to be half an hour, it was 2 hours. They agreed on a ceasefire in Syria, which is good. But it's only just the beginning, right? Because we know when Putin gets back home, he's still gonna, pull his little tricks and whatnot. But still, we're talking about something so dynamic and so new. Like I always say, when it comes to American politics, the voters, the way the president handles the media, and the way he's now handling world leaders, everything has changed. That's why President Trump is so historical, right? But to see Melania Trump there talking to President Putin, I mean, wow, what a first lady, right? A+.
James Comey, an ABC News exclusive event, continues.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States. January 20th, 2017, Donald J. Trump inaugurated the 45th President of the United States. Congratulations, Mr. President. On Saturday, January 21st, masses of demonstrators take to the streets, among them the family of James Comey.
My wife and girls marched in the Women's March the day after President Trump's inauguration. At least my 4 daughters, probably all 5 of my kids, wanted Hillary Clinton to be the first woman president. I know my amazing spouse did.
I wanted a woman president really badly, and I supported Hillary Clinton. A lot of my friends worked for her, and I was devastated when she lost.
The next day, with that bizarre Trump Tower talk still etched in his mind, Comey's invited to a reception for law enforcement officials at the White House. You didn't want to go.
Remember, there were a whole lot of people who thought that I had helped elect Donald Trump. And so why would I want to go to a public reception with the president 2 days after he takes office?
He's determined to keep his distance from the president.
I walked into the Blue Room, went to the far opposite end. I was now as far away as physically possible.
The FBI director, 6'8", tries to become invisible.
I look, and right next to me is this blue curtain. And I'm wearing a blue suit that doesn't match perfectly, but close enough. So I'm thinking, how great is that? I got a little camouflage. And so I start moving over, and I pressed myself against the blue curtain, thinking, this is my save. This will save me from having this public embrace with the president.
Well, that doesn't work.
He's become more famous than me.
I remember the walk. It seemed like 1,000 yards across the Oval Blue Room. And my family's had a lot of fun watching my face as I walk across because they know that's my oh no face.
Well, that's not exactly what Patrice said, is
Well, I
it?
don't want to say it on television. She said that's Jim's oh face. And so I'm walking forward thinking I was determined there's not going to be a hug because I'm not a master of television, but I knew that would be a real problem. Our arms are tense, and he gets just far enough that I get something worse than a hug. Unfortunately, the cameras are on the left side of my face, so the whole world saw him kiss me. He didn't kiss me. He said, I really look forward to working with you.
What do you think is going through his mind?
I think it's about establishing dominance and making everyone part of the family.
President Trump and
There was a brief pause, and then the meeting was over.
Should you have said, Mr. President, I can't discuss this with you. You're doing something improper.
Maybe. Although, if he didn't know he was doing something improper, why did he kick out the Attorney General and the Vice President of the United States and the leaders of the intelligence community? I mean, why am I alone if he doesn't know the nature of the request? But it's possible that in the moment I should, another person would have said, sir, you can't ask me that. That's a criminal investigation. That could be obstruction of justice.
Was President Trump obstructing justice?
Possibly. I mean, it's certainly some evidence of obstruction of justice.
At some point in your mind, as you're writing these notes, have you shifted to collecting evidence of a possible crime?
Well, yes, in a sense. I continued to believe that there was force to the FBI General Counsel's argument that we're going to have to look at the president. You're inevitably going to look at his conduct because he's the head of the campaign.
Comey says the president followed their Flynn is a good guy Oval Office meeting with phone calls about the Russia investigation.
There continued to be a lot of stuff in the news about the Russia investigation. So he was calling me to tell me how frustrating he found that, and it was getting in the way of his ability to make deals for the country, and he wanted to lift the cloud. He called it a cloud, and so wanted me to get out that he wasn't under investigation.
By May, the Trump-Comey relationship is strained to the breaking point when Comey is called to the Dirksen Senate Office Building, room 226, to testify before the Judiciary Committee.
Look, this was terrible. It makes me mildly nauseous to think that we might have had some impact on the election, but honestly, it wouldn't change the decision.
Comey again confirms the FBI is investigating potential contacts between associates of President Trump and Russians who interfered in the 2016 election.
any comment after the hearing, Mr. Comey?
But he still refuses to say publicly what he told the president privately, that Mr. Trump himself is not under investigation.
Have you ruled out the President of the United States?
I don't want people to overinterpret this answer. I'm not going to comment on anyone in particular.
So if he's not under investigation, you told him, why not tell the country?
It was potentially misleading and also would create a duty to correct.
Good afternoon. The President
had had enough.
The President still have full confidence in FBI Director James Comey?
I have no reason to believe. I haven't asked him. So I have not asked the President since the last time we spoke about this.
On May 9th, Comey's in Los Angeles talking to employees at the field office when something playing on a TV catches his eye.
FBI Director James Comey has been fired.
What's your first thought?
That's crazy. How could that be?
Stay with us.
The bit about you were fired because of how you handled the email investigation is melting away. You were fired because of the Russia investigation.
The president said Russia was on his mind when he fired Comey.
But regardless of recommendation, I was going to fire Comey. And I said to myself, I said, this Russia thing with Trump and Russia is a made-up story.
Comey was out, but the president's attacks continued, escalating into a full-scale Twitter war.
Sanctimonious, a leaker, lying James Comey. Those are the words that President Trump has used to describe his former FBI director.
But it was this tweet that Comey better hope there are no tapes that sparked the leak heard round the world.
When he tweeted that there might be tapes, the thought hit me like a lightning bolt, like, wait a minute. If there are tapes, he will be heard on that tape in the Oval Office asking me to let it go. There is corroboration, or could be corroboration for the thing we thought we'll never be able to corroborate.
Of a possible crime.
Yeah, of possible obstruction of justice. Somebody's got to go get those tapes.
You wanted a special counsel.
Yep, because I wanted someone without political conflict, someone to find the facts.
He made a controversial decision to leak his memos to a friend who read them to the New York Times. President's tweeted innumerable times calling you a leaker. What's your response to President Trump?
Look, it's true. I mean, I'm the one who testified about it. That's how people know about it. I gave that unclassified memo to my friend and asked him to give it to a reporter. That is entirely appropriate.
Why not do it yourself? Why not do it openly, transparently?
For one very practical reason. At the end of my driveway was a horde of media, and my thought was, if I give it to one reporter, then what's my answer to all the others about why I won't answer their questions?
How do you weigh that inconvenience against the ethics of being more open?
My reaction was, I'm going to get the information out. I know the information is true, and if I'm ever asked about it, of course I'll tell the truth about it.
The President also, several different tweets, calls you a liar.
Yeah.
And?
What am I going to do? Yeah, people have to make their own judgments about other people.
Comey's leak. And has the President of the United States been compromised by the Russians? Do you think the Russians have something on Donald Trump?
I think it's possible. I don't know. I think these are more words I never thought I'd utter about a president of the United States, but it's possible.
That's stunning. You can't say for certain that the President of the United States is not compromised by the Russians.
Yeah, it is stunning, and I wish I wasn't saying it, but it's the truth. It always struck me and still strikes me as unlikely, and I would have been able to say with high confidence about any other president I dealt with, but I can't. It's possible.
When we come back.
Almost a year has passed since James Comey was fired by President Trump. Since then, he's come to some stark conclusions about the use of power and moral leadership. You write that President Trump is unethical, untethered to the truth. Is Donald Trump unfit to be president?
Yes, but not in the way I often hear people talk about it. I don't buy this stuff about him being mentally incompetent or early stages of dementia. He strikes me as a person of above average intelligence who's tracking conversations and knows what's going on. I don't think he's medically unfit to be president. I think he's morally unfit to be president.
All right. We back. Monday morning. I'm all out of weed. Damn. Let's go again. But anyways, that's another story. The point I'm trying to make is morality. The conscious way of knowing right and wrong. Truth and lies. Now, you asked the question, was President Donald Trump unfit to be president? He said he's not fit to be president. It's not because, this is what he said. It's not because he's what did he say? He said, what did he say? Man, I forgot already. No, he had to he said that he was competent. It's not because he's not competent to be president. It's the fact that his morals. Come on, man. Morals? You got nerve to talk about morals? Him not being morally fit to be president? Wait a minute. What? Did y'all forget about we have something called slavery here in this country? That's still affecting black people to this day? Did y'all forget about that? Or maybe I'm the only one remembering, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Anyways, listen, me myself, because sometimes you gotta think about who you are, before you talk about somebody else, Because like I said, I could talk about how I did this, did that, but you have to understand, it goes deeper than what I did when I met President Donald Trump and said what I said to him, to get him started in the process to be president 20 years later, which is which is now, it's the fact that how I was raised. You have to understand. I was raised around an upper middle class place called called Orange County. From the 70s, 19. I got there. I arrived in Orange County in '69. But I was in my mom's stomach. You know what I'm saying? But I was going on my way. And back then we didn't even have they didn't even have the 405 freeway, or one of those freeways, either 405 or whatever. The point is, it was new. It was like the Marines base was there. That's where my dad was stationed at. The one who raised me, and all that, and so I was raised up, and I was raised around white people, white women, just throwing themselves at me every day, all day. Am I conscious about it? No, not really, because I'm not even really absorbing that type of knowledge. Simply because I was going to church faithfully. All black. Soul Train, you know what I'm saying? Blues, all that. Slavery. That's where it all came from, what they gave us. They programmed me. They tried. I was different than anybody in the church. I was different than the black people that I grew up in Orange County. Those black folks was like security for me. I was in with the white folks. I was with them too, but on a different level. You feel me? So I had upper middle class white women throwing themselves at me all day, every day. I never touched them. I never touched them at all. I didn't start touching white women really at all until I got to Germany. Those European women, that was a different type of whole different type of breed. You have to understand. I saw soul in these white women. I saw these European women. Well, these European women were like black women, but stronger than me compared to what I was accustomed to, what I saw, what I experienced growing up. For the first 20 years, 18 years of my life, And so I observed the European women over there in Germany when I was stationed over there. And I was like, and I had just got married. I got married to a Trinidadian woman. Which is Trinidad was foreign from was I don't know, the history. I think they just got their independence. They were all those islands and stuff. That's all. Who are those owned by? Those are owned by white folks, Europeans. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand. My ex-wife, she was like she was like a watered down European, kind of like. Those Europeans were no joke. So when I started experiencing them and talking and dealing with them, and doing my own little personal research, and I was researching, didn't know I was researching. I'm researching, looking at it now because it's like 20, 30 years later. But at that time, I was going through some serious stuff, thinking, wow, these European women ain't no joke. No wonder these black women hate coming over here. I used to hear all the time, these black women hate coming over here to Germany. The black soldiers would tell me that their wives hated over here and stuff because of the women. If black women hate European women, do you know white American women hate European women? So this basically the whole thing about this dude, what's his name? I'll be forgetting this. I need a secretary. James Comey and his wife, who's probably a white girl, white woman, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know what I'm saying, white American, they hate European women. Come on, I have the authority. Listen, my great-great-grandfather, I never met him, but I heard he was German. So when I went over there, they knew me. They had to. They had me sitting at the German. This chick, I told you this story before. This chick had me up in some weird city or whatever. Listen, I was young. I was just going with the flow. People were just doing things to organize me. Didn't even know. They had me sitting at a table, the head of the table. Now that I think about it, big ass German. This is all German. I don't know nothing about it. These people couldn't even speak English. At least I didn't speak it to them. And some lady who brought me there, I don't know, I can't remember who she looked like. I don't think she was black. I know she wasn't black. I think she was Asian or something. She brought me there. Okay, I'm sitting the head of this big ass table, right, full of these German looking people, doing some real ritual. It might have been my relatives. I don't know. Okay, all I know is I find myself dealing with. I had this one chick, right? I met her at the club on days, right? She was German. She couldn't speak no English. Couldn't speak no English at all. Her name was Kaya, right? And she lived with her parents. I would go over to her place, and she threw some rat on me one time, right? It was a chinchilla. I said, what the hell is that thing? I never heard of that, right? So I'm getting sitting there dealing with these people, you know what I'm saying? Then one time we had went somewhere, right? And it was me, it was her. She could speak no English. We couldn't communicate. I couldn't. At least she could. At least she was acting like, I don't know if she was acting or what. I believe she could speak English. I mean, I could read people. You know what I'm saying? And anyways, I was just involved in something. So anyway, I found myself in some place talking to these white people, right? But they were American. And these girls, these women were American. And they were just dogging the German girl. But I didn't think that she could, she could understand. But she felt so uncomfortable because it wasn't the words, it was the body language. They were saying disrespectful, they were saying disrespectful stuff while in her presence. That wasn't really directly to her, but just the way they were saying it. And I knew they were disrespectful, right? But I could tell by her body language that she didn't like it. She knew they didn't like her. Because white women in America do not like European women. They don't. They hate European women. That's why anything black women do, white women did it before. Black women follow behind what white women do. They do. Whatever white American women. White American women are the leaders. They're the ones who set the mold. The black women follow behind them. White women and white men don't really get along. That's why Donald Trump don't like them, because they're haters. I was raised with them. I never tested them. I said, white women, they full of shit. You have to say, I was going to church, so I was getting that church stuff. So, it says stay away from the devil. Okay, I will stay away from white women. That's what I'm talking about. This is when I was growing up as a kid. They said stay away from the devil, right? Everything devil this, devil that, going to hell. That's all I heard all day in church. I was going to church 3 times a week, right? Sunday night, Tuesday, Friday. I was going to church a lot, right? Plus, you going to choir rehearsal, usher practice. I was going to church more than I was staying at home or going to school. So all that stuff was on me. So quite naturally, I knew what to do. Stay with white women. And then all that, people were like, every time I would like talk to a white girl, it would always be some stuff. So I said, cool, I ain't supposed to be talking to you anyway, so I'm cool. I never really mess with white women. That's why people used to always think that, you like white girls because you talk white or you're proper. I was just raised this way from school. I was forced to be taught to talk this way or be this way, you know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. I mean, that's product of your environment, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I mean, but who I am is who I am, but how I act is how I act. Is what I was raised in. So anyways, I was like, man, this is crazy how they look at this whole. And then I'm watching Putin whispering and talking in Donald Trump's wife's ear, Melania. During that time they had that dinner last year. You know what I'm saying? When they first won, they had to have a dinner and stuff, and they were actually this was when they met Putin. They were sitting there having a dinner, and I saw him whispering to his wife. And they were saying that they both speak French. They both speak a language. Since you have him whispering, I said, that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. That was the problem. When I saw that, I said, that's a shut case right there. That's going to be a problem. Maybe not that time, not at that particular time, but in the future. But come on, you have to understand, man. We talk about the United States of America. We know how to fix problems. You know what I'm saying? We know the source. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, what do you blaming President Donald Trump? Players play. Come on, what do you want? Tell about morality? Nigga, I'd smack in your mouth for saying that. Even bringing that up. You talk about the United States of America, how it was formed, how it was created, how it was built. And the ones that did that act like they never existed. Well, black folks did all that. That's a smack in our face. But as far as the whole thing about this investigation and him getting fired, that had nothing to do with him. That ain't nothing to do with President Donald Trump. That had nothing to do with the women. White American women hate European women. They do. They hate America. They hate European women. I was living in Europe for over a year. I was stationed there. I experienced some things. Let's go again.